Coach Barber, thanks for taking the time. Took 3 wrestlers to the NCAA championships. One did extremely well, but I think you're proud of all 3.
Yeah, I'm extremely proud of all 3 and our entire team, right? So it's just like those guys did a great job, par for the course, during this year, like nothing's been easy, right? So our flights got canceled last Monday, and we looked at a few different options, how to get out of Colorado and get to the national tournament so we can get involved in the testing protocol, so we can actually compete. So that ended up being a 17-hour bus ride, where we had to take a bus from here to Wichita, which is way out of the way, to get another bus to get to Wichita to St. Louis. And we got there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we started getting ready. And again, like, what a testament to these guys, all the things we've been through, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But to have that continue, in the national tournament. So to kick off our national tournament run with a 17-hour bus ride. So really grateful for our administration for supporting that effort. We got there, but they really did a good job. And I think it was a culmination of all the things we talked about all year. And we talk about, this idea of you fall back on your training, and you just saw it in every single match, and like Cody Surratt, 0-2, but he went out and he competed as hard as he could, and he was in both matches. He's right there. And again, that shows, that's a culmination of his 4 years of work in the program, his contributions. So really proud of Cody and what he brought to the program over 4 years, and his growth and development and his buy-in. Because it wasn't easy at times to buy in, especially this year in this environment. Like, as a senior, am I going to have a season? Should I continue to push, right? And he did, right? So really proud of Cody and the career he put together. Pin leader last year in the nation, did a great job for us. A Big 12 semifinalist this year, only the second one we had in our program history, and just really a guy that ended up being a great team leader and a great captain for us. So, Jared Van Vliet came out, and he had a pretty tough opponent from North Carolina State, battled hard there. Big thing for Jared is, like, he bounced back. Like, that's progress for Jared. So he lost that match, he came back. Just an incredible match, got a takedown with just a few seconds left, right? Really cool to see him be able to do that. Wins another one, and then loses to a tough guy that he's wrestled a couple times in the Big 12, and he's 2-2 at the national tournament, his first trip there, that's a huge step forward for him. Great progress. What incredible experience that he'll bring back to the team, and we're really excited about his future in the program too. And then Wyatt Henderson, right, a freshman, makes around the 12. Again, he just doesn't have any. He has a Big Ten opponent first, and he dominates that guy. Does a great job there. Gets the fall, which is huge, right? That's big points in a tournament. Gets the number 1 seed, then end up being the national champion. Probably, going to be one of the top most dominant wrestlers in the country this year, right? Goes out, he competes hard. Same thing, loses that match, and he bounced back, wins 3 more in a row. Has to beat a 2-time All-American from Lehigh, a 4-time EIWA champion, to even get a chance to be an All-American. And then runs into another tough guy from the Big 12, another, a 3-time All-American now after this tournament. Wrestles really tough as a freshman and comes up 1 match short. But, obviously I think there's, people that follow the sport of wrestling see the potential there. And we know him personally, his drive and his ability. So big things, I think, coming for Wyatt Hendrickson.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, those 3 wrestlers will come back, obviously, but you talked about Jared. They come back and they talk to your team about what it was like, and I think that would bring more excitement to the wrestlers who didn't get that opportunity.
It's a bit of a breakthrough for our program, and it's one of the things we've talked about is that we've been getting guys in the national tournament, but we've been getting them there as seniors, right? So to have guys come back, to be there as underclassmen and go there and be able to, bring that experience back, and it's going to be hugely impactful for us. And we're going to have that in our room now for at least the next 3 years, right? So with Wyatt. So that's a great thing. When we did well as a team, we took 3 guys there, and we outscored, we tied Army, who had 7, and we were a point and a half away from Navy, who had 9, right? So it put us in the top 50% of programs in the country, and I think that's a good step forward for us as a team. We want now, that being said, we're happy with it, but it's got to be understood that we have higher goals, right? The goal is absolutely to have an NCAA All-American and be a top 25 team. So that part of it, obviously great progress. Thrilled with what we accomplished this year, especially in this environment. So we're going to celebrate that, and we're going to have be grateful for it, and there's some joy that comes with that, but it's back to work as well, and get back again, focused on, we still didn't achieve the goals we set for ourselves, so we got room to improve there, and I think we're going to get there.
As you look back now at the entire season and the improvements you made, if you can take COVID for a minute out of the equation, if you can even do that, did your team improve like you wanted them to?
I think absolutely, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to take COVID out of it, because I think COVID's one of the reasons that we did so well. I think we had to lose the opportunity to wrestle last spring to understand how much we love it, right? I think that was a wake-up call for some guys. I think we had to lose, the ability to do what we love to do to realize, our why, right? So I think COVID has been, it's been great for us, and again, I've always want to preface as like, I know some people have some real hardships and and the loss of life and that stuff, so I don't want to downplay that at all, but for us, Air Force Wrestling only, it's been really positive. It's allowed us to be grateful for the opportunity. It's allowed us to have to break down our entire program and rebuild it, right? And find out like what things are really essential and what things really make an impact in our program, and we learned some new things, right? We got some new things that we can do now. So we're going to use some virtual tools this summer to connect with our team and keep them connected when they're out doing great things for the Air Force. It allows us to move out to Camp Bruiser, right? And have a bubble, and in that bubble, I think we built a bond, right? And it's something that guys will talk about forever. It allowed us to work with different organizations at the Air Force Academy, and we're grateful for all those people, and come back to that in a second. But and it just really allowed us to narrow our focus, So, and I think it really forced us again. Number one is to be intentional about the growth, right? And it really focused on the idea of improvement and gratitude, and it kind of took away some of the focus on the results and the pressures that come with that, and this idea that we have to versus we get to. So that part of it, I think the final thing looking back on the season is like, thank you to this team. Incredible, right? Incredible to come back in August, not be able to be on the mats for 3 weeks, training outside on the lacrosse fields, tackling dummies, bouncing, like, doesn't look, we called it wrestling, but it wasn't wrestling, right? And to get through that and to get on the mat, and then we're on the mat from late August until the NCAA tournament. We don't come off, we don't take a pause. Only program in the country out of 76 wrestling programs in Division I that did that. That's a testament to our guys of making a commitment to staying healthy, right? Thank you to our administration, our athletic administration that supported us, provided opportunities for us to get testing, allowed us to schedule a date to try and wrestle in November. We were scheduled to wrestle in November, and that fell through, but our administration supported that through Mil-Air, through testing, through kind of leaning into the risk at that point, right? It was still pretty risky environment to go try and have athletic contests. So the Air Force Academy, from our superintendent to our commandant, to our AOCs, to the staff at Furrow Lake when we moved out to Bruiser, that ended up being huge for us. It's contact tracing was happening in the dorms. People were getting sick in the dorms. We weren't in the dorms. So we stayed healthy. We didn't get contact traced. We didn't get sick. So that's huge for us that we could continue to go through, have that bubble. A lot of good growth happened. We did well academically. We did well in leadership when we got back up for recognition. So, we never took our foot off the gas in pursuing excellence in the other areas too. So just really grateful for all the people that supported our program, but most importantly, the team, for them to stay bought in and believe that, we're going to have a season. We're going to grow our program. We're going to wrestle. We're going to compete. We're not going to let our circumstances become bigger than our mission, our goals. Be grateful for the opportunity to compete. Go out there and be better this week than you were last week. So just completely like, what does buy-in look like? This year is what buy-in looks like.
Final question for you. You've now got momentum on the mat. You've got momentum on the hill with all of these the student athletes. There's also momentum outside from people who are seeing what Air Force Wrestling is doing and wanting to support.
Yeah, we've had great support. Again, thank you to our parents, for all their support all year long in every area. They showed up and they bought a box at Tulsa, which was huge. I think it brought them together. We have alumni that had a box at Tulsa. They brought them together. We have an alumni group. We have an alumni uprising now. This well of support, which is just incredible. So that part of it, we had another box at NCAA's. So there's just all this support that's pouring in from everywhere, and I think it's, again, people are starting to see that, you know, the commitment that our guys have towards pursuing excellence in all areas, and they're engaging, and we're begging them to be part of it. And the culmination of that is that we're going to announce it today later on social media, but I just want to a huge shout out to our Air Force RTC for securing the 25K match. So we made it, and you know, so we got the 25K match. I want to say thanks to Doug Wells, who's going to provide that 25K, for putting that up there in that challenge. And then there's been some guys that really contributed to that. So Colonel Marty Dack, Brett Axton, Chad Kraft, AJ Werner, Dax Cornelius, and the rest of our board with the RTC. So there's been some big time people that stepped up to make that happen. The Martinez family, the Woods family, a lot of our parents have been engaged, former athletes. So, but we made it. So we made, you know, $50,000 in this match. We got another $25,000 in the Wayne Bachman Endowment Fund from another donor. So over the last month, Air Force Wrestling has raised over $75,000. So I think there's like, hey, people are supporting the program, and then there's like, hey, here's 75,000 reasons people are supporting the program, right? So that part of it is huge. We just want to say thanks. We're grateful. It's impactful. It makes a huge difference to our cadet athletes, and we couldn't compete at this level without that support. So thanks to everybody that was part of that 25K match. Thanks for Doug Wells for making that happen.
Fantastic. Great news. Sam, thanks for taking the time, and congratulations on a very successful season.
Appreciate it. Thanks.